if you are acting as a landlord or a very successful business person, and many successful business people decide to become landlords, so it kind of ties in, is having an umbrella policy is certainly a highly recommended approach. And to give you, for instance, because I have an umbrella policy, I carry fairly high limits on my automobiles and my houses. But they're not horrible, but, you know, like instead of, you know, I have like 100, 300 or something like that on my cars, where some people will carry minimums or a little bit lower than that. The umbrella policy requires you to carry a certain higher level on your regular insurance. Umbrella policies themselves are not terribly expensive because their idea is most things for most of us in life are going to be covered by your basic insurance. So, and they make sure of that by making sure you pump those limits up a little bit. But you could probably get a $1 million umbrella added to your homeowner's policy for $200, $250 a year. Now, I have enough property that I am in a commercial umbrella, and it's about $650 a year for $2 million of coverage. Again, that is just backup coverage. That's if something really bad happens that we don't even want to talk about here today. But to keep in mind that while being in the rental business is a good idea, that you are increasing your exposure, and having, you know, a good insurance package is certainly an important aspect to being in the business. One of the things that happened up here in the Woodlands is a number of the houses that flooded up here did not have flood insurance because they weren't in the 100-year floodplain. So unfortunately, if you're buying property, even in areas that traditionally have not flooded, which includes the Houston Heights, the Woodlands, some other areas that have not flooded in the past, flooded in Harvey, which is by now considered a 500-year incident. If it flooded, then you need to really check for mold and termites, by the way, because they're more susceptible now because of whatever damage happened, even if it was a minimal thing. You maybe got some water in the garage. But you also want to make sure that you look into having flood insurance. Flood insurance is federally subsidized in most markets, and it's if you need it, it's a good investment. And again, we've got such severe problems in Houston with underinvestment in flood control and overbuilding with massive blocks of concrete, that my projection is that we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. I think flooding is going to get worse, not better, because they're not making the giant steps that would need to happen to put in a really effective flood plan for the whole area, not just City of Houston, which is useless in that regard.
If you have an LLC that's holding the rental properties, you mentioned umbrella policies, would you have the one umbrella policy personal, or would you put it in the LLC? How would you?
The way I'm structured, I have one umbrella, and it covers, it lists the different entities.
Both are insurable interests.
Yeah, but I want to point out, I'm working with a commercial real estate agent. The agents that do the regular home insurance.
Or just personal?
Yeah, you know, State Farm, Allstate people. Those are all good companies and good agents, but if you get to like 4 rental properties, you move into commercial, and you're better off working with an independent agent, and they can write a policy that lists all of your things, whereas a purely residential agent may not be able to insure more than your house in your name, you know. So it makes a difference how the policies are written.